Memphis, don't you go nowhere, because today's show, the Jerry Lawler Classic Memphis Show, it's all about us. Rock and roll.
To my ears, son of a gun. Hello again, everybody. Lance Russell and Dave Brown, and we're right along ringside, all ready to kick it off for another big day.
Jerry the King Lawler, Memphis wrestling legend, winner of countless titles, legion of fans, and member of the WWE Hall of Fame. This is Jerry Lawler's Classic Memphis Wrestling.
Hey, everybody. Jerry Lawler here with another edition of Jerry Lawler's Classic Memphis Wrestling. I want to tell you, we're coming to you once again from beautiful Fitzgerald's Casino, right down here in Tunica, Mississippi, just a short drive from Memphis, Tennessee. And you got to make that drive, because let me tell you something about Fitzgerald's. Luck lives here. That's where you're going to get lucky every time you come down. I promise you that. And you know what? We're lucky today, because today's show is going to feature one of the greatest tag teams ever from Memphis, Tennessee's wrestling. And Memphis was always famous for great tag teams like the Fabulous Ones. Oh, me and Bill Dundee. Oh my gosh, so many. The Road Warriors came through here. But today is a special day, a special tag team. And the reason they hold a special place in my heart is because I created this tag team. I put these two guys together. I'm talking about Robert Gibson and Ricky Morton, the Rock and Roll Express. Come on, baby, let's rock.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, back one fall with a 60-minute time limit. In this match, the Galaxians masked are at 6. The masks are at 6. Now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing out of the dynasty of wrestling champion, total 424 pounds, from the Twilight Zone, introducing the Galaxians. At ringside, their manager, Jim Cornette. Their opponent, ladies and gentlemen, introducing at a total weight of 437 pounds from Pensacola, Florida, and Nashville, Tennessee, Robert Gibson, wrestling the Rock and Roll Express. The Galaxian match of six wins off 1 hour. Referee, Jerry Calhoun.
Galactus, I don't know what in the world's wrong with them. Did I say it right or not?
Yeah, you hit it right. No big deal. You got it. Galaxian.
It's strange how you get something.
Oh,
I
yeah.
practice it all the time, you know, just to run.
Woogie off and running, one fall, 60 minutes in time. We've got a pairing here, two very fast teams. We've seen them a couple of previous times in action. The Galaxians in the mask, wrestling out of the Twilight Zone, according to their manager, Jim Cornette. Alpha and Beta. Going against the Rock and Roll Express, and a press almost. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Boy, I'll tell you, we almost had it over with in the first minute of action. Rick Morton, Robert Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express. Really fine-looking team. Physically tuned, fast, excellent young wrestlers. Not to take a thing away except by association with the dynasty of professional wrestling of Jimmy Cornette's. The Galaxians also a really good-looking, quick team. That's Alpha coming in now. He's the stockier of the two. Beta started out. Robert Gibson. Ooh, couple of knees fired in. Gibson shuffles around behind, rolls him up, and referee Jerry Calhoun really getting a hard time from the Galaxians. They thought his count was a little quick. Well, he didn't hesitate, I'll say that. Rick Morton now takes over. Alpha. Cornette hollering about the count also. Standing side headlock, Rick Morton on Alpha. Misses the elbow. There's that cross press and a 2 count again. That's 3 quick 2 counts. The Rock and Roll Express almost had him. Yep, that's right, Rick. They're complaining about the count of referee Jerry Calhoun. They've had 3 2 counts. Morton caught coming in. Shoveled into the turnbuckle. Followed in by Alpha. Robert Gibson cushions him. And he comes right out of the corner, does Rick Morton, with a good right hand. Rick Morton over the top, double drop kick, and Beta, who had taken over from Alpha, was decked. Robert Gibson kicked off. Robert Gibson, Rick Morton, the Rock and Roll Express against Jimmy Cornette's Galaxians, Alpha and Beta. That's Alpha in there now. And Robert Gibson, referee Jerry Calhoun. One fall, 60-minute time limit match. And in this one, we've gone about 5 minutes. We're still 30 seconds shy of it. Gibson reverses it back. The Galaxians were trying to duplicate the earlier success of the Rock and Roll Express, and the Express a little too quick for them. On the floor. Referee tolling out the count. Alpha coming back in. Yep, I think he was the legal man. I'm not absolutely certain. There's a tag on Beta, and they make a switch. Rick Morton in. Remember the mask of the Galaxians at stake. Boy, and I'll tell you, they are battling like they're well aware of it, too. Rick Morton taking quite a shellacking in the corner. Rick. Bam, bam. Double trouble from the Rock and Roll Express. Robert Gibson takes over. Count of one. He got any farther in about 1.5 when Alpha hit the ring and broke it up. There's a whip into the turnbuckle. And this time going for the drop kick. Look at that. Nice move. Give him the credit when it is due him. Gibson mashed into the corner by Alpha after trading out with Beta. Gibson now has a shoulder buried right into his chest on a bear hug. Robert went up for a drop kick over by the corner, and the very quick Beta grabbed his legs, catapulted him straight into the turnbuckle. Rick Morton being run out. Ricky saying they tagged. I may have missed it like the referee did. We were watching the other action, and I did not see him get the tag, but I'm sure that he must have. Cover one. Robert comes out of it. Galaxians firing heavy barrage of stuff at Robert Gibson. There's a whip from Beta. Sunset flip. Beta down, and Robert Gibson gets a count of 2 before he finally kicked the way out, but Alpha had the referee distracted over there, and he did not get the benefit, Robert didn't, of all of the time that he had him down. Beautiful sunset flip. Looks like a suplex. Look at it slip by Robert Gibson. He puts it around into a side suplex and slams Alpha back down to the mat. Robert pulls up on the ropes, but the Galaxian is over. Eight and a half minutes into the action. It's a one-fall 60-minute time limit match. A couple of previous times we've seen these two teams against each other. They have really gone at it, and tonight follows the same pattern. A little more imperative on the Galaxians' part as their mask at stake. Look at Robert, makes a tag. Here comes Rick Gibson in. Big drop kick. Beauty. 2 of them. 3. All 4 of them in the ring now. The referee trying to bring it down to the right number as Robert Gibson working on Beta. Rick slams into Alpha, falls down on top of him. But the referee trying to get Gibson out of the ring. Never got a pin, but look at this. They did a little switcheroonie. Ten minutes. Count of 1, count of 2, count of 3, and that's going to be it. 10 minutes, 4 seconds, all important switch by the Galaxians. They'll keep their mask. They win the match. And they're splitting from the ring before any questions can be asked. Don't take any prisoners. Get out of there.
Bad news travels like wildfire. Good news travels slow. Yeah, I'll call him old wildfire, 'cause everybody knows that he's bad news. Everywhere he goes.
Now back to Jerry Lawler's Classic Memphis Wrestling.
this tag action match. The Unmasked Nightmares, Ken Wayne starting out with Danny Davis as partner, going against the Double R's, the Rock and Roll Express, Rick Morton and Robert Gibson. Jerry Calhoun, the referee. Mid-South Coliseum, Memphis, Tennessee. Lance Russell and Randy Hales right at ringside. And this ought to be a dandy. Two very fast teams. Rick and Robert have got the size advantage. Whoa! Wayne spearing with that right hand. He was going to take Rick out of action right away. But Morton, too quick, went down underneath him, and Ken Wayne was swinging at nothing but air. We're in the opening minute of a one-fall 15-minute time limit bout. There's a tag on Robert. Rick whips Wayne in. Aha! And he catches Robert with that foot. Robert was going over for a backdrop after Rick had popped him in on that whip. And here's a little help from Rick on his partner, Robert. Ken Wayne. He was signaling to Danny, but they couldn't pull it off the way the Rock and Roll Express did. And the Nightmares. Whoa! And Robert, a big long drop kick. Look at this. Robert right in behind with a second monkey flip. And the Rock and Roll Express really going to town on the Nightmares. Jimmy Hart pulling his hair at ringside. Davis out on the floor. Ken Wayne out on the floor. Referee giving a little sermon to Rick and Robert about their double teaming. I figured the only thing they did was beat the Nightmares to the double teaming, Randy.
That's true. Don't you love this? Quickest team in professional wrestling, don't you think? Two quick teams. I love it.
Yeah, this is excellent action. No question about that. And the audience really getting into the action we've had as Danny Davis trying to slow that momentum down. Takes a little time getting back in the ring. Facing off with Rick Morton. Slams him with a right hand. A second and a third one. And the referee on him all the time. Whips Morton across. Look at this. Oh, beauty. What a quick move. Nice. Ken Wayne treated to the same kind of action. Oh, boy, look at here. Man, oh, man, the Rock and Roll Express, as if to punctuate what Randy had just said about being the quickest team in wrestling, they added some very classy action to it. Wayne and Davis having a powwow with Hart at ringside. A little better than 3.5 minutes in. I think the crowd has got to say, yeah, boy, our favorites are the Rock and Roll Express. And they have really looked good against the Nightmares. Don't count Wayne and Davis out, though. They've got 5 years tag experience together.
Hey, you want to go back smoking your marijuana?
And to the corner, Robert now goes with a press on Ken Wayne, who kicks him loose, and out on the floor goes Robert. Danny Davis picking Robert up, slams him down. Rick Morton run out of there by the referee. Pretty classy move by Wayne over in the corner to get away from Robert. Well, we've got them all four in there for a brief moment. Davis working on the leg of Robert Gibson. Tag. Here comes Ken Wayne. And the Nightmares right at that knee joint, slamming down hard on Robert Gibson. Right on it. 5 minutes remaining. 5 minutes. And as he was going to the corner to tag Rick Davis interrupted him, pulled him off the tag, and has him back with that knee in trouble. He bars that leg right at the knee where he can lean back, push in with his right hand, and he's kicked out of it. Davis catches him, good move, turns him into a Boston Crab. He doesn't have it set yet, but Ken Wayne's helping him out. Robert, who has got a lot of leverage with that height of his. Tag goes to Wayne, drops with an elbow, and Davis cuts loose of that Boston Crab. Into the ropes, whip. Around behind. He didn't get him in the classic clothesline. He clotheslined him, hooked his other hand in a loop, and power slammed his head into the mat. Double chop coming down as Davis double-handed Robert Gibson. Gibson whipped across the ring. Sunset flip. Look at Davis, but the referee getting Wayne out. Doesn't have him out for long. Six and a half minutes in. We're approaching the halfway mark time-wise in this match. Ken Wayne still shaking his head where he headbutted Gibson right in the face. Scoops him up, slams him down. Wayne getting a little speed up, drives down with that head, and Robert rolling toward the corner. Oh, boy. He didn't know how close he was to Rick Morton. A couple of more rolls, and he'd have been right in the corner for a tag. Davis takes over. And Robert trying to fight his way back. Smacks Davis with a good solid right hand. Oh, and as he comes in with a double chop, he raised the knee, but Ken Wayne caught him from behind, and there's a tag out to Ken Wayne. Both teams seem to be primed for this bout today, Randy.
That's right. They met before, Lance. Robert comes up. He makes the tag. That's what he needed.
Rick Morton coming in with the nightmares. He's fresh. Ricky, a good drop kick. Right over on Wayne, and Robert up off the floor, swinging away. Kane, from Hart, nails Rick Morton right in the back of the head. Nightmares. Davis, backbreaker. He's got Morton. Ken Wayne going to come off, and he misses him. Morton covers. The referee, 1, 2, 3, tag. That's it. 8 minutes, 19 seconds. Very classy finish with Rick Morton getting out of the way as Ken Wayne was going to put him away. Rolling right into a pin position. The referee counted 1, 2, 3, and the winners, Rick and Robert, the Rock and Roll Express.
Oh, yes, we're back with a very special edition of Jerry Lawler's Classic Memphis Wrestling. It's all about tag teams and the Rock and Roll Express. Robert Gibson, Ricky Morton, and we're coming to you once again from Fitzgerald's Casino, where luck lives. That's why everybody's having such a great time right here. We want you to come on down and join us. Now, right now, we're going to go back and we're going to join today's version of Robert Gibson and Ricky Morton, the Rock and Roll Express. And you know what? These guys have a little bit of a problem sometimes admitting that I'm the guy that put them together.
All right, Jerry. Let me get down on my hand knees and praise the Jerry Lawler man of Memphis, Tennessee, because he wants to take credit for the Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah.
We have to give it to him. He is the one that started the Rock and Roll Express, and not only us, a lot of great talent that come out of Memphis TV. Matter of fact, in that era, I think every great superstar came from Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah,
I'm talking Hulk Hogan. I'm talking The Undertaker, Kane. I'm talking about the Rock and Roll Express, the fabulous ones, Kamala,
Midnight.
beautiful Bobby Eaton, Dennis Conrad. It goes on and on and on. And you know, Randy Savage and I were the first ones to ever break the table at the Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee.
One of them big old thick tables.
I got you.
Big old doctor table.
Nothing takes the place of the classic Memphis wrestling. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry. Hope to see you soon.
Now back to Jerry Lawler's Classic Memphis Wrestling.
We're ready to go with the action now in a most interesting match. It is not a tag match. It is a four-man match. All four men in the ring at the same time. The Galaxians and the Express in here with a commentary with the mask at stake. Randy Hales. Randy.
Thank you, Lance, and action started quick with the Galaxians going against the Rock and Roll Express, and the Galaxians with the advantage now on Robert and Rick, but a quick change there, and the Galaxians go down. Look at Rick Morton. Robert Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express, ready to roll with the mask at stake. It's all four men in the ring at the same time. My first opportunity to see this kind of action. Robert Gibson over the top and goes after the Galaxian. Rick Morton ready to go after Jim Cornette. The Galaxians outside the ring, not wanting too much to get in the ring with the exciting tag team out of Pensacola, Florida, and Nashville, Tennessee, talking about Robert Gibson and Rick Morton. Hard to keep up with the action with all four men in the ring. It is Beta squaring off with Robert Gibson, and Alpha with Rick Morton, and Robert Gibson going after Beta. Side headlock and a left hand, and Robert with the chokehold, and now on the other side, Rick Morton with the drop across the ears, and the Galaxian out. That's Beta taking a hike. Big double backdrop. It's been Rock and Roll Express looking mighty good, Lance.
Just might point out, Randy, this is one of the few times where double teaming is permitted because all four men are legally in the ring. There was a case where one of the Galaxians hit the floor, the other one was left by himself. The Rock and Roll Express did what comes naturally, and they went into a double team on him. It is legal.
This is where the advantage would have to go, I think, to the Rock and Roll Express, because the Galaxians are used to switching, and they can't do that in this match.
No, you're absolutely right on that, and the fact of the similarity of their size and their attire and all that means nothing as far as deception. Everybody is legal all the time.
Morton going after Alpha on the other side, and Robert Gibson with the leg, puts Beta down over the top rope, goes Alpha, the Galaxians, and he falls right on the concrete floor right in front of us. A double elbow in the ring between the Galaxians. And here comes the Express. They're battling outside. Look out, the Rock and Roll Express right in front of the table. Ricky Morton after Beta. Watch out, right into the table goes Beta, right down on the floor. And back in the ring, Alpha put down. Robert Gibson on top, but the referee for some reason not going for the count. There he goes, 2 count. And Morton going after the other Galaxians, and a count, 1, 2, and a kick out there. Came very, very close. Right hand to the top of the head by Robert, and Rick puts him down. Boot to the top of the head. Right across the rope, and the Galaxian gets tied up in the ropes, falls down on the mat. Been interesting. It's a unique type of match with all four in. It's Robert Gibson going after Beta of the Galaxian. Robert Gibson, Rick Morton, but now the Galaxian, a tough team, we've got to say. They have looked very good together as part of the dynasty of wrestling champions. Right hand and Alpha working on Robert Gibson. Beta working on Rick Morton of the Express. And the brawling continues. Down goes Robert Gibson, the referee, out of position. And Robert Gibson caught, and Alpha pounding away on Robert Gibson. Referee threatening a disqualification on Beta. Now Jim Cornette has Rick Morton from outside, and Robert Gibson has Alpha all tied up in the crowd, and the referee was out of position there. It's hard to combat the dynasty of wrestling, the style. Now the Galaxians choking on the top rope of Ricky Morton. 5 minutes past, 10 minutes to wrestle, 5 minutes gone as Rick Morton going after Alpha. But Alpha catches him over on the other side of the ring. It's a chokehold by Beta of the Galaxians, and a chokehold by Alpha. Referee threatening another disqualification. Ricky Morton choking, comes back on the fight fire with fire, catches him again, and Beta brawling at Rick Morton. It's top of the match where all four of them in. They don't have a second to rest. Gibson, right hand, but the Galaxian comes right back. Choking on the ropes on the other side is Beta inside the ring. Alpha choking, and Jim Cornette on the other side. Choking Robert Gibson, and it's a 3-on-2 situation here with the Dynasty of Wrestling Champions head man getting involved in the action. Jim Cornette watches as Rick Morton put down to the canvas. Alpha, a boot to the top of the head, and Alpha choking, and apparently Robert Gibson thrown over the top rope. I just turned barely in time, and it looked like Robert went over the top. Off the middle rope, Rick Morton put down, and an elbow, and a count of one, that's all they could get, a 1 count. Remember, the masks are at stake in this match. All four men are supposed to be in the ring. Right now, it's Robert Gibson outside the ring on the floor. Morton with a shoulder butt, and Morton has him down. The referee outside with Gibson and Beta. And Morton was caught before they had the opportunity to get the count of 3. Beta has Robert Gibson down. Rick Morton on the other side having problems with Alpha and Robert Gibson. With a kick, Morton with the advantage. Morton hits Beta. The Galaxians now find themselves in trouble. What a double kick by Rick Morton that sends Alpha across, and Robert Gibson on top of him. 1, 2, and they came close. Very close. Morton with a body slam. He's on top of him. Count of 1, count of 2, a 2 count. Count of 1, and a kick to the head of Robert Gibson. Hits Beta, and Robert Gibson caught by Alpha. It's been a seesaw battle all the way here with all four in the ring. That's the way it's scheduled to be. The stipulation, it is a mask at stake match. Return between the Galaxians and the Rock and Roll Express. Robert Robert catches. Beta catches Alpha. Robert over to the other corner, and Rick comes back. Robert Gibson puts Beta down. And Gibson working on Alpha. Gibson has him down. Could be it. The referee down. Count of 1, count of 2. And the shoulder's up. Morton has him down on the other side. 1, 2, and a 2 count. A 2 count. The Rock and Roll Express almost had the win. The Galaxians. Now Morton put down, both of them down, both of the Galaxians, both Morton and the Galaxian down, and now the other Galaxian has Robert Gibson in a lot of trouble. And Gibson, Robert Gibson has him down. 1, 2. Pardon me, that's Rick Morton in the ring with Alpha. It's Robert Gibson in the corner. Beta choking Ricky Morton. Drop kick, Robert Gibson. What a move by Robert. Ricky still being caught. Oh my goodness, what blistering action going in to this match. And a double drop kick. Both of them down as both Alpha and Beta down, and a body slam by Rick Morton, and now one of the Galaxians down, a switch on the other side. 1, 2, but the foot's on the rope. The foot's on the rope. 2 minutes to wrestle. 2 minutes to wrestle in this match. Robert Gibson and Alpha battling. Rick Morton battling with Beta. Here comes Rick on the other side. Morton comes in. 4 men, all 4 of them in. Now a snapmare. Rick Morton goes down. Look at Robert Gibson. One of the best drop kicks I've ever seen off the middle rope. What a super move off that middle rope by Robert Gibson. 1 minute, 60 seconds to wrestle. Count of 2. The foot's on the rope. Came very close to getting it. Very close to getting it. And 1, 2, once again, the foot's on the rope, and Morton and Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express, battling with the Galaxians here, and Robert with the side headlock, Morton with Beta into the ropes, and a backdrop, and another backdrop, and the Rock and Roll Express coming down as we are 15 seconds away from the time limit. 15 seconds away. 15 seconds away from the... And now, 5 seconds to wrestle in this match. Both of them down. They got the count 2, and the time limit has sounded. The time limit has sounded, and this match will be ruled a 15-minute draw. 15-minute draw going in. The Rock and Roll Express and the Galaxians go to a 15-minute draw. The time limit was 15 minutes, and it went to a 15. I have 13 minutes. Jerry, hey, apparently, Lance, we made a mistake here. We made a mistake here at the ring. We were keeping the time. We thought the 15-minute time limit.
What are you talking about? I saw the bell ring at the 2
sorry,
count.
Jimmy.
The time ran out.
Okay, Jimmy, I'm sorry.
I counted 1, 2, coming down the bell rung, right?
Referee Jerry Calhoun saying the bell rung, and the match will be a draw. Jerry Calhoun says there was 2 minutes short due to a mistake made here at the table by myself and Lance. We made the mistake with the timing, so the referee says that he will add 5 minutes to this match. 5 minutes to the match. And
Can you justify that?
Jim,
The bell rang, the time
the
ran out.
referee justified it.
You can't tell
The referee Come on, Jimmy. A backdrop, and this one underway, and Beta and the Galaxians. 1, 2, they're going after the mask now, Lance. I think that a lot of people are confused, but we just made a mistake.
Yeah, well, it was 13 instead of 15. I misread it, and that's all I can say. The referee, I think, is doing a fair thing. Look out!
Here comes Cornette. Oh, no. With the shoe, Cornette catches him. Oh, my goodness, a bad break for the Rock and Roll Express. 1, 2, and 3. Once again. And that was 42 seconds after we continued the match. The Galaxians have won the match. You saw Jim Cornette come in and interfere with the chew and get the pin as the Rock and Roll Express. The situation was that the match rung, the bell rung for the 15-minute draw. The referee came down and said that it didn't seem like it was a 15 minutes to him. We looked at the watch.
And 2 minutes off, Randy. It was 13 instead of 15.
Lance, we're having problems with audio, and both of us were really paying more attention to our technical problems.
Get that thing out of here.
As a tough break for the Rock and Roll Express as they lose it in 42 seconds after the match continues.
Hey, man, I'm sorry. I misread the watch on the thing. And
the Express very upset, and can't blame them a bit, as they wanted the mask to come off, and so did all of us here, but the Galaxians come up the winner. They get the win in the match.
Steve-O joining us right now as guest commentator. We're about ready to go with this one-fall 15-minute time limit match at a total of 440 pounds from parts unknown, the Masked Marauder, and from Kenya, Africa, Kenya Condore, going against him at a total of 437 pounds. From Nashville, Tennessee, and Pensacola, Florida, the Rock and Roll Express, Rick Morton and Robert Gibson. One fall 15, referee Jerry Calhoun. Steve, a tag team that has not been around the area as a tag team known as the Rock and Roll Express for very long, but boy, they really have caught the imagination of the fans.
Well, I've known Rick Morton for a long time. I know Robert Gibson for a long time. Robert and Rick were a successful, Robert's brother were a successful tag team. I think Rick Morton is along the same lines as Robert's brother, and I think they have a good style in the ring. They're both fast, they're both quick, very agile, very athletic, I tell you, and they got some pretty outlandish wrestling garb, I guess you could say there. But I tell you, these guys are really pretty exciting. We were out in the disco just the other night, and these guys are out in the disco floor, and they're using all their wrestling wear out there. I tell you, and they cause some excitement there too.
Yes, indeed. Of course, we've known them individually for years, both Rick and Robert, but really looking good as a tag team. The Rock and Roll Express. That's Kenya Condore in there against Rick Morton right now.
Oh, an excellent arm drag. Combination moves there by Rick Morton, taking the man off his feet. A good move by Kenya Condore to get behind this man. Watch out now, Ricky Morton. He's an excellent escape wrestler. He also has an excellent right cross.
Yeah, he blocked that right hand by Kenya Condore and came back with the right cross himself. We're 1 minute into the action.
I'll tell you the secret now with tag team wrestling is to make sure that both men stay fresh and to, you know, take control in the ring. You have to take charge. When you're in control, you make the other person make that move, and when they make a move, you can counter it. You wait for them to make a mistake. Oh, an excellent move, jumping over his man, a quick tag. Kandori doesn't know which one to wrestle.
Rick Morton
takes him around.
Yeah.
Oh, an excellent flying man. A little knee for good measure.
Got the 2 count, almost, but not quite. Rick Morton himself coming back from injury a few months ago.
Yes, I understand he had some problems with his knee, but I've seen Rick Morton wrestle in different parts of the country. I've seen him in Dallas, Texas, San Antonio. He's been all around the country. He's a very experienced wrestler. So is Robert Gibson. I saw him in Atlanta, Georgia, him and his brother. Look at Robert causing a little excitement, a little pandemonium. Take the man over at it, baby, Robert. I tell you, when you grab onto a man's head like that, when you got control of a man's head, the rest of the body has to follow. And when you're in control like that, you can dictate to your opponent what has to go on in the match. Look at that. Another excellent move to tag out, staying in control.
The point you were making is one reason the headlock is so popular, because that way you do have control of the total wrestler.
It's a very popular hold. A lot of wrestlers use that for control in wrestling. Setting him up for a suplex. Up and over.
Got him. Cover.
No, he didn't pin him.
No, he didn't. Picked him up.
This is going to be a good time now for them to work on their timing. For them to work on the timing that they can use later on in matches when the going gets a little bit tougher.
Round behind him, full Nelson.
I don't know if Robert plans on using this for his submission hold. Oh, an excellent move behind him. Wrestlers use different moves for submissions, trying to keep control and also trying to wear down your opponent. When you get your opponent wear down, then you can use holds such as a full Nelson, such as the sleeper, such as the figure 4 to use for submission.
Well, Kandori, try it now.
That's a dangerous position over there in your opponent's corner.
Yeah. Place Wolf.
Oh, he ducked underneath that one. The Marauder caught Pinya Kandori with that one. Oh, double dropped it. Excellent move. Did you see the timing of that? That was perfect. 1, 2, 3.
Teamwork, name of the game.
That's
again.
The name of the game.
I'm telling you, we've had a great time here. Coming to you once again live and direct from Fitzgerald's Casino, Tunica, Mississippi. My man Tom Nunnery's been in the house. We've been having a great time with the Rock and Roll Express today. And you know what? We're going to feature some of the other great tag teams in the next few weeks. Like, oh, how about the Fabulous Ones? Yeah, they were great too. We're going to be having a special show on them coming up real soon. So every week you got to tune in right here. Jerry Lawler's Classic Memphis Wrestling. Hey, Tom, we're about out of time. Play us out of here.
He was born and raised in Memphis. This is where he stayed. Tell all the women Jerry Lawler's on the way. He's a rocker and a roller, fighter and a lover and a king. He's the world's greatest wrestler. He's the best you've ever seen. Oh yeah.
Thanks for watching Jerry Lawler's Classic Memphis Wrestling.